Hey there, in today's video we're going over the 2022-2023 TMSCA General Math Test number 9. Let's do it. Alright, number 41. What is the value of the mean absolute deviation of the set of numbers 9, 30, 12, 17, 23, and 23? Alright, the mean absolute deviation is just the average distance between the mean of the set and the rest of the numbers in the set. Alright, so for that, we have to first find the mean. So we can do this by adding up all the numbers and dividing them by 6 because there are 6 total numbers. So 9 plus 30 plus 12 plus 17 plus 23 plus 23. Alright, 9 plus 30 is 39. 39 plus 12 is 51. 51 plus 17 is 68. 68 plus 23 is 91. 91 plus 23 is 114. Alright, now we can divide this by 6. 114 divided by 6 is just 19. Alright, now we know what the mean of this set is. Now we need to find the distance. So we can do that by taking 19 and finding how far is 9, 30, 12, 17, 23, and 23 from it. Alright, first, 9. 9 is 10 away from 19 because 19 minus 9 is 10. Next, 30. 30 is 11 away from 19 because 30 minus 19 is 11. Next, 12. 12 is 7 away from 19 because 19 minus 12 is 7. And next, 17. 17 is 2 away from 19 because 19 minus 7 is 2. Next, 23. 23 is 4 away from 19 because 23 minus 19 is 4. And since you have 23 types, it's just 4 and 4. Alright, now we can add these up and then divide by 6 to find the mean absolute deviation. So 10 plus 11 is 21. 21 plus 7 is 28. 28 plus 2 is 30. 30 plus 4 is just 38. Alright, now we have to divide this by 6 to get the mean absolute deviation. 38 divided by 6 is just 6 and 1/3, and that's your answer. Next, the square root of 6 plus the square root of 8 times the square root of 6 minus the square root of 8. Alright, in this problem, we have two numbers occurring twice. We have the square root of 6 occurring twice, and we have the square root of 8 occurring twice. Alright, so we can say the square root of 6 is a, and the square root of 8 is b. So in this problem, when you have a formula where it's a plus b times a minus b, this can be rewritten as a squared minus b squared, which means we can rewrite this problem as the square root of 6 squared minus the square root of 8 squared. Alright, the square root of 6 is just the square root of 6, but when you square it, it cancels out the square root. So this just becomes 6. Then the square root of 8 squared is just 8 because the square root and the square cancel out. So this becomes 6 minus 8, which is -2, and that's your answer. Next, in 3 dimensions, what are the coordinates of the center of the sphere that has the equation x minus 2 squared plus y plus 4 squared plus z minus 3 squared is equal to 225? Alright, this is actually very simple because in 3 dimensions you have your x, y, and z. So the way you find that is in this equation you have -2, 4, and -3. All you have to do is bring it out of the parentheses and change the sign, and then you get your x, y, and z value. So when you flip the sign of -2, that becomes +2. When you flip the sign of 4, that becomes -4. And when you flip the sign of -3, that becomes +3. And that's your answer. Next, line M has a slope of -11 divided by 9 and passes through the point -9, 15, and 45y. What is the value of y? Alright, so when given the slope, so in this case of -11 divided by 9, this is also the rise over run. The rise is just the change in the y value, and the run is just the change in the x value. So in this case, for every -11 that you go on the y, you have to go up 9 on the x. Alright, now we can use this to solve our problem. So between the two coordinates, the x value has gone up by 54 because 45 minus negative 9 is equal to 54. Alright, so if it's gone up 54, 54 divided by 9 is equal to 6. The reason we divide by 9 is because every single time we go to the right 9 on the x value, we have to go down 11 on the y value. So 54 divided by 9 is 6, which means we have to go 6 times negative 11 down on the y value, which is negative 66. Alright, so now what we have to do is take the y value of 15 and subtract 66. So 15 minus 66. That gets you negative 51, and that's your answer. Next, what is the value of the y-coordinate of the solution to the system of equations x plus 2y is equal to negative 33 and 2x minus y is equal to 49? Alright, so to solve this, we have to equate either the x or the y's coefficients to each other. So we can do this by multiplying the first equation, x plus 2y equals negative 33 times 2 to make it 2x plus 4y is equal to negative 66. Now, the 2x, or just the x value, is equal in both equations because the second equation is 2x minus y is equal to 49. Now we can just subtract the second equation from the first equation. So the 2x's cancel out, and then 4y minus negative y is just 5y because you add when there's two negatives, and then negative 66 minus 49 is equal to negative 115. Now you have to divide both sides by 5 to get y is equal to negative 23 because negative 115 divided by 5 is equal to negative 23, and that's your answer. Next, using the picture below, which trig function can be used to find the length of x? Alright, so this is our x right here. Okay, so in this trig function, we're given the degree of 38, which is over here. So we can say that this is 0. Alright, then we have x, and we have this number over here, which is, we can say it's O. Alright, and we can say our x is A. The reason it's O and A is because the 14, this side right here, is opposite to the 38-degree angle, and the A, this x side right here, is adjacent to the 38-degree angle. Alright, now, since the angle is using the adjacent and opposite sides, this is a tan function. Alright, so the function for a tan function is just tan of 0 is equal to O divided by A. Alright, so we're given the degree here, which is 38, which means that goes in this parentheses. So it becomes tan of 38. Next, that is equal to the opposite side divided by the adjacent side. The opposite side is 14, and the adjacent side is x, and that's your answer. Next, what is the maximum point of the graph of the quadratic equation y is equal to negative 5x plus 20x minus 13? Alright, so the maximum point of the graph of the quadratic equation, that is also the vertex. I actually have a full video just on axis of symmetry and vertex problems, which will be linked in the pinned card at the top, but let's continue with this problem. So, in the vertex of a quadratic equation, you can either have a maximum point or a minimum point. You'll have a minimum point if the coefficient of x is a positive number, and you'll have a maximum if it's negative. Alright, so since it's negative, you're going to have a maximum point. And we can solve this by solving for the vertex. Alright, so first we have to do the axis of symmetry. The formula for axis of symmetry is just negative b divided by 2a. Our b value is the coefficient of x, which is 20, and our a value is the coefficient of x squared, which is a. So this becomes negative 20 divided by negative 10. That is just 2. Alright, now we know our x value is equal to 2. Now we can substitute this back into the quadratic equation to solve for our y value. Alright, now when substituting the value of 2 in for x, the new equation becomes negative 5 times 2 squared plus 20 times 2 minus 13. Alright, 2 squared is 4. 4 times negative 5 is negative 20. And then 20 times 2 is just 40. And then you subtract 13. Alright, negative 20 plus 40 is just 20. And 20 minus 13 is just 7. So our y value is 7. Now we know what our x and y is, which means the coordinate is just 2, 7, and that's your answer. Next, solve the compound inequality and express the solution in interval notation. Alright, so when you have a compound inequality like this, where it's not just one side that you have the inequality, you have it on both sides, all you have to do is just do the same thing on both sides. So in a normal equality, to solve for x, you would just add 9 to the other side. However, since there's two sides, you just add 9 to both sides. So this now becomes negative 2 is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to 26. Alright, now we can solve the compound inequality because we have the two numbers, negative 2 and 26, but we need to express it using interval notation. So interval notation is just the way you write this. So there are two things. First, you have this. This is used when you have a less than or greater than sign, and then you have the square bracket. That is used when you have a less than or equal to or a greater than or equal to. In this case, you have a greater than or equal to on both sides, which means it is just square brackets. And that's your answer. Next, number 49. A power 4 times b power negative 2 divided by a power 8 times b power negative 5 to the power of 3 to the power of negative 1. Alright, this might seem extremely complicated, but it's actually pretty simple. So first you have a power 4 times b power negative 2 divided by a power 8 times b power negative 5. So let's solve this part first. So when you have a problem like this, where you have the same variable on top and bottom, and you're just dividing with different exponents, you can just subtract the bottom exponent from the top exponent. So 4 minus 8 would be negative 4. So this becomes a power negative 4, and b power negative 2, or just negative 2, minus negative 5 is just negative 2 plus 5, which is 3. So b power 3. And this is divided by 1 because there's nothing on the denominator. However, when you have a negative exponent, you can get rid of it by just bringing it down to the denominator. So this now becomes b power 3 divided by a power 4. Alright, next. Now this is put to the power of 3 as seen right here. So the power of 3. So when putting a power to a power, all you have to do is multiply these powers. So this becomes b power 9 and a power 12, because 3 times 3 is 9 and 4 times 3 is 12. Finally, you have this to the power of negative 1. Alright, so in the last one, I stated that when you have a negative number, you can just flip it to the other side of the fraction to get rid of that negative number. So when you put to the power of negative 1, this becomes b negative 9 over a negative 12, but you can just do the reciprocal of this to get rid of the negative numbers, which makes it a power 12 divided by b power 9, and that's your answer. Next, what is the area of a triangle with side lengths measuring 8 centimeters, 7 centimeters, and 3 centimeters? Alright, the given triangle is a scalene triangle because all three side lengths are a different measure. So the formula to find the area of a scalene triangle is just area is equal to the square root of s. S is just the semi-perimeter. The semi-perimeter is just half of the perimeter. So the formula for the area is just s times s minus a times s minus b times s minus c. Alright, so first let's find the perimeter. So 8 plus 7 plus 3 gets us a perimeter of 18. 18 divided by 2 gets us 9, which is our semi-perimeter. That means s is equal to 9. And then we already have our a values of 8, which is a, 7, which is b, and 3, which is c. It really doesn't matter which one is a, b, or c, though. Alright, so now if we substitute this into the equation, it becomes the square root of 9 times 9 minus 8 times 9 minus 7 times 9 minus 3. Alright, this simplifies to the square root of 9 times 1 times 2 times 6. Alright, 9 times 1 times 2 times 6 is just 108. So this becomes the square root of 108. Alright, however, we are not done yet because we still need to simplify this. So the way we simplify a square root is by checking which perfect squares are a factor of this number. So in this case, 36 times 3 is equal to 108. So if 36 times 3 is equal to 108, and 36 is a perfect square, we can just bring the 36 outside the square root. The square root of 36 is 6, so this now becomes 6, and then you leave the square root of 3 inside, and that's your answer. Alright, that's it. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please make sure to show your support. These videos take a lot of effort to make, and I would really appreciate it.